we now have the opportunity to grasp new learnings, meet new people, as the Toastmasters world is now truly worldwide. So I encourage you, take this message back to your districts, your divisions, your areas, your clubs, but most importantly, to your members.
And our next speaker will speak more about supporting others. Longtime Toastmaster and currently Vice President of Education at Children's Speakers New London in the United Kingdom, Adrian Lane has spent the last 2 years driving his club's online transition. He introduced Zoom technology to his club to offer in-depth remote training to members on pathways and easy speak. This helped to drive diversity in membership, enable new members to get up to speed quickly, and embed the ethos of online accessibility for every member's learning journey. Adrian ensures that his club is ahead of the curve, leading, not following, and always looking to improve. Always thinking one step ahead, he is famous for implementing dynamic solutions, especially under huge time pressure. He is regarded as an innovator, leader, and loves a challenge. At the time of need, during the COVID-19 outbreak, Adrian, along with Area Director Diane Richardson, ran one of the first Zoom test meetings in District 91, and since then has facilitated the transition from in-person club meetings to Zoom for various clubs in the District 91, focusing on not just working technology, but how meeting roles can be carried out effectively within the confines of Zoom and one's own home. Adrian says of himself, "I like to try new things, to bring together the collective expertise and to see what works. My signature approach is to try 5 things, pick the best, and learn an enormous amount in the process." Adrian joins us today from his home studio in rural England to share his passion for supporting each other in a challenging time. Adrian, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Piotr. We probably have one of the most diverse memberships of any volunteer organisation in the world. Our members come from every corner of the population, but everyone is on their own individual journey, be that down a 6-lane American highway or a winding mountain pass in Tibet. It is this diversity that allows us to share and to adapt, but most importantly, to learn. No more so than now, when COVID-19 has changed our lives in a way that probably a Hollywood blockbuster couldn't even come close. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, members of my club, today let's have a look at some of the ways our lives have changed, the barriers to change, and the best timings to implement these changes. But before we look at how we support each other, let's ask ourselves a few questions. How well do you know your fellow Toastmasters? I was asked to write an introduction for myself for this webinar. I started putting some words together. I thought, I know my Toastmaster in my club. Let's get our VP PR, Carolyn, to help me write it. I pinged some words over. She pinged back the introduction. Job done. So let's look at other people in the club. Is the person who attended regular as clockwork at every meeting now actually a key worker in a hospital or a supermarket, working exhaustive hours, battling with masks, screens, aprons and gloves, fearing that everybody they meet could make them ill? Have they really got the energy or the inclination to come home and prepare a speech about leadership style? Is the business traveller who popped into your meetings every now and again now sat at home in front of a computer all day? Have they got so much spare time that a Toastmasters meeting would actually be exactly what they need? The opportunity to continue meeting Toastmasters will be a welcome relief for some, but for the others, it's the last thing on their mind. But in an instant, it can change. It could reverse. Nearly 7 weeks ago, our area, led by Chiltern speakers, held a Saturday morning test session with the sole purpose of working out how to get an online format up and running quickly. A few key technically able people in the club came together to lead this online revolution. I use the word technically very loosely. We actually didn't have a clue. If your club doesn't have the skills, now a few weeks later on, reach out to those other clubs that are doing it, ask one of them to come and help you, pull those skills in. At that meeting, we had 40 members from our club and from other clubs who equally were looking to us to provide the solutions for them. Within District 91, we experimented together to build knowledge and to learn from each other. If the format works for one member using a mobile phone propped up by a stack of books on a coffee table, then it can work for everybody. It needs to be simple in format and accessible to the non-technical members of the club. During meetings, speech evaluations are the backbone of Pathways Learning. Members may need help to get PDF forms backwards and forwards. In the old days, when we met face to face, we could bring the paperwork, hand it over. How do we do that? In our first meetings, people came up, turned up, and the question was, where's my evaluation form? The speaker said, oh yeah, I forgot. So this needs to be done well in advance of the meeting. The prospect of actually downloading, attaching a PDF could actually be the reason why a member cancels a speaking slot or even cancels an evaluation slot. Cut down the meetings, make them shorter. Make them shorter than a normal meeting. Maybe have one less speech. You can have too much of a good thing. So the previous weekend, 3 of us spent all day personally ringing every single member of our club and explaining what we were doing. We were going to go from face-to-face to online. And most importantly, listening to their individual situations and concerns. We distinguished those that wanted to be involved and those who needed more time to organise their lives. Within days, we were up and running with an area contest. We were doing online polls, breakout rooms, visual timing, stuff we never even knew Zoom could do with our very basic package we started off with. And all this from a standing start. The rapid transition from physical meeting room to online has happened in days. I'm Zooming this evening. That's your FaceTime. You hear it everywhere. But it's critical to distinguish online is just different from face-to-face. We now have a window in time to learn how to talk to a blank screen, how to imagine virtual laughter, and how to lap up silent applause. The interactions within a business meeting and the social chit-chat are very different. So let's separate these two things. The fact that we're now doing them on a screen and Zoom is actually irrelevant and immaterial. At our club, we use Facebook summaries of meetings, numerous focused WhatsApp groups to build rapport within the club. And of course, we keep ringing and messaging each other. My timely WhatsApp messages are now so acclaimed, that's the word I'm using, maybe not the word used by some of my fellow Toastmasters, that I am no longer the VPE, I am now the Nudge Master. Our first meeting was a crazy affair, but boy, did we all learn quick. Don't worry about things going wrong. When we fall, we get up stronger. At Chiltern, we have test sessions to try out new ideas, small groups and even one-to-ones to help people with lighting, camera angles and audio. We now have a different Toastmaster, a different timer, and critically, a different Zoom master at every meeting. However, things don't remain the same. Constantly reach out to your members. Yesterday, could have been the day their world turned upside down. As I found out joining Truley Club in Taiwan, we now have the opportunity to grasp new learnings, meet new people, as the Toastmasters world is now truly worldwide. So I encourage you, take this message back to your districts, your divisions, your areas, your clubs, but most importantly, to your members.